You also have a background in data science and analytics.
Yeah.
How does data play a role in crime prevention?
Okay, so we were talking about the basics of data, not really uh, programming or anything, but just the basics of it. I think it really helps out, especially when you're doing mapping, to understand what are the current trends and everything that's going on around it, for you to really do a proper analysis on it. For example, if I zoom into a certain area and say, oh, motorcycles are getting stolen in this particular area, and it's always during the weekdays. So then now we need to understand, okay, why is it only happening during the weekdays, right? Is it that the syndicate's only active during that? Okay, now what needs to be done? So when we have those kind of data and we are able to dissect it, it makes it so much easier to come up with preventive measures.
Many companies are now using AI for fraud detection. Could you shed some light on how businesses can use data to proactively prevent crime?
Okay, so it can and it cannot at the same time, right? So one thing is that it really depends on what kind of fraud you are trying to prevent. And the thing about this is that what kind of data are you feeding your machine learning? The problem with a lot of fraud prevention software that we've seen out there, and we've tested a lot, and I no names, but what happens is that you are only feeding it data which you have received. So let's just say I want to a fraud prevention for eKYC. So what you are going to do, you're going to give it maybe fake IDs, and then you're going to tell the machine these are fake IDs. But the problem is the IDs that you given is what you have created as fake. It is not the standard that criminals would create a fake ID at. So when we tested it and we had criminals who actually create fake IDs, put it through these eKYC systems, it bypassed as original because the machine hasn't had the opportunity to learn from something of that quality yet, right? So that's the thing with companies that develop technology, right? We are all forced to work within a certain parameter. That's the biggest problem. We are forced to work within a certain parameter, right? And we are not able to bypass that. You see, for example, if you are a company, your company hires me, Shamir, I like to check the vulnerabilities in my organization. What's going to happen? They are going to give you, these are the parameters that you can do. But that's not how criminals do it. You are telling me now, as an organization, Shamir, you can only test my front door. I want to see if my company is vulnerable or not. But criminals are not going to come to the front door. Right? I'm sure you face this problem every time when you're trying to implement something.
Yes, absolutely.
Because the company will say now, if you go all out and really try to check if I'm vulnerable or not, my system is going to collapse. And when my system collapses, I lose business, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Fraud prevention companies are restricted due to organizational protocols. So there's only so much you can do. So what happens is, when they get defrauded, that's when, okay, now next layer, okay, because of this we got defrauded. But this thing could have been sorted out way earlier sometimes. So it's always about that.
It's amazing how much thought goes into crime prevention strategies. With so much personal data available online, do you think we are making it easier for criminals to target us?
Yes, most definitely yes. That's the thing, right? In Malaysia, people used to always ask, how is it that scammers have my phone number? How is it that they have my phone number, my ID number, my home address? The problem is you don't know who does what with your data. So for example, if I'm coming to visit you at your apartment, what do I have to do? At the guardhouse, as part of your security measure, your guardhouse has said, before you can go and meet Rakesh, you need to register yourself here at the guardhouse. When I go to the guardhouse, I have to give them my ID to register, which has my ID national ID number, has my full name, has my address, and he'll ask, give me your phone number. And if I want to park my car in the visitor parking, I have to give my car number plate.
Yes.
Now, your guys have all my data. How do I know that you're not telling it?
It's easy to access the data also, right? You can just bribe that guy, give some bucks, and it's easy to get the data. See, if somebody is already spying on you, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I always tell people, don't ever be shocked if somebody calls you and reads out your details. Your details are all over Malaysia by now. So don't worry about it. It's all over the country, don't worry about it.
Right. All right, Shamir, let's wrap up with a quick rapid fire round.
Yeah.
Just answer in one word, a sentence, or a few words.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest crime myth you wish people would stop believing.
That criminals are stupid.
Next question. The most surprising thing you've learned from criminals.
Work ethics. Their work ethics.
What ethics?
Yes, criminals are patient. They don't. Okay, here's the thing. Let me give you a quick example. When was the last time you've heard a criminal complain, "Hey man, I'm feeling depressed. I don't feel like robbing somebody today."
True. I never heard a criminal complaining. Probably in movies, yes, maybe, but in real life, I haven't heard.
I'll give you another example. When was the last time you heard a drug addict say, "I've got no money to buy drugs"? He will find money to buy the drugs.
They always figure it out,
Yeah.
They always have money for drugs.
Yes. No money for food, but there's always money for drugs. So, work ethics, criminals are on a whole different level.
Next one.
Yep.
One thing businesses should implement immediately to improve security.
More training for staff. That's very important. So, when I say more training, I'll just elaborate a bit more. It should come in two folds. One, it should be training for guys like you, because you as well, you need, of course, I'm sure you would agree, even myself, I always need to improve my skill. So even we need to go for training. But second, the most important thing is, how do you teach security training for non-security guys, right? Because your team is small. It's only 10% of the whole organization, or maybe 1% of the whole organization. These other 99% of people shouldn't mess up. If not, you guys get the blame.
True.
So training
Yes.
so important.
Yeah, right on the money. And I would definitely agree with you on that. Yes. Training is something that is really important for any organization. And as you rightly said, upskilling is also very important. It's not that I know many things today. If I do not upskill, I'll be outdated by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because with so much of technology, the tools that criminals have in their arsenal, they are upgrading, they are updating so frequently, we will be outdated if we do not upskill ourselves. Yes.
Definitely. And those who are listening out there and watching this, if you have not seen Rakesh's profile, you should go and check it out. He has a very interesting profile. So for those of you who are wanting to go into the line of cybersecurity, you should always get in touch with him. Amazing stuff he does. So I don't think you should downplay what you've achieved so far. And you've done an amazing job. So good job to what you've achieved.
Thank you so much, Amir. Moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
If you weren't in crime prevention, what career would you have chosen?
Criminal.
Wow, I didn't see that coming at all. Trust me. When I was thinking about this question, I never ever thought about this answer. Oh.
But I think if my values were different, probably then I would be a criminal. But I think with the values, earlier we spoke about environment, right? So with the environment I grew up in, our values, it wouldn't allow me to be this. But I think on a more serious note, if I wasn't in crime prevention, the next thing I would probably want to be in is probably in marketing. I probably would want to do marketing.
Right. Okay. Interesting. No wonder that you have such a beautiful page, that you have co-founded it, and then you're doing so much of amazing stuff.
Thank you.
I'm sure that you would have done a fantastic job there as well.
Thank you very much.
And the last one, your go-to crime thriller movie or TV show?
Mindhunters. So the show on Netflix, it's actually talking about the early stages of criminology, where the FBI calls in these guys to actually study the criminals so that they can prevent crime. So it's fictional, but it's also very interesting.
Interesting. That's the first thing that I'll be doing it tonight or sometime over the weekend for sure.
Check it out. Very nice. Mindhunters. M-I-N-D Hunter. H-U-N-T-E-R.
Mindhunter. Okay. This has been an incredibly insightful discussion. Before we wrap up, where can people find more about your work and the Prevent Crime Now program?
So one of the easiest way to follow us would be on our LinkedIn. You can look me up, SHAMIR RAJADURAI on LinkedIn, and even to our website, preventcrimenow.com. So you can always find us on these platforms.
Thank you once again, Shamir, for sharing your expertise and experiences. And to all our listeners, if you found this episode valuable, Make sure to subscribe, share, and stay informed. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.